read a short statement regarding the loss of Deputy William Gentry. There's great sadness that Sheriff Paul Blackman and the rest of the Highlands County Sheriff's Office family announced that Deputy William J. Gentry Jr. succumbed to his wounds at 1:10 p.m. today at Lee Memorial Hospital. Sheriff Blackman and the command staff are currently at the hospital with the family. The heartbreak of our members is devastating, but it is nothing compared to the loss that his family has suffered. Please keep his father, his mother, and his brother in your prayers, as well as all the members of the Highlands County Sheriff's Office and all our fellow law enforcement officers around the state. Deputy Gentry was shot shortly before 8 p.m. yesterday, Sunday, May 6th, at a home in Lake Placid. He was airlifted to the hospital, and despite the best efforts of the first responders and the hospital staff, his injuries proved to not be survivable. In the true spirit of a public servant, Deputy Gentry is an organ donor, and his organs will be donated so that some good may come out of this unspeakable tragedy. Deputy Gentry is just the third deputy we have lost in the line of duty, and the first loss as a result of a criminal act. Inspector James Rogers and Captain Robert Hopton, whose names are memorialized on the rock in front of the Highlands County Sheriff's Office, were lost in a plane crash on July 10th, 1995. Sadly, we will now have another name to add to that monument. We will provide more information about the services for Deputy Gentry when we have it. And that's all I have right now. Yes, it hits home in so many ways. We are definitely a family here, and the fact that his brother is also going through this. His brother has already stated that he lost his hero, and that's the same thing for a lot of us. We lost one of our heroes today.
Can you kind of tell us about him? How will he be remembered?
I didn't know William that well. I did spend some time with him last year. He was a good deputy. He was very knowledgeable. He had a kind of a wry sense of humor. He was a fun guy to be around.
Can you tell us more about the circumstances of the shooting? Do we know what kind of weapon it was used?
All I can say is that it was a handgun. There was a call about a neighbor dispute that a neighbor of the suspect called and said that her cat had been shot. When Deputy Gentry and his field training deputy arrived, they made contact with the complainant, who told them that the suspect was who she suspected had shot her cat. When Deputy Gentry went to that home to make contact with the suspect, that's when he was shot.
That deputy that was with him, the one in training, how's he doing?
It's a female deputy. She's obviously very shaken up. We have several volunteer chaplains here at the Sheriff's Office that have been on hand all day here for the members. They've been traveling to where the members are. They've been at the hospital with the family. We're doing all we can to support our deputies in this time of need. She was not right there. She was still at the original house with the complainant.
What are the next couple days look like for you guys? I know it's so soon, but...
We're just going to do a lot of praying. We're going to gather around each other, hold each other close, and get to work on planning a fitting memorial for Deputy Gentry.
What did the suspect tell you guys? What can you tell us that he told you?
I can't comment on anything like that.
Did he go willingly with the arrest?
Yeah, he was arrested at the scene by the next deputies that responded without incident.
Will the charges be upgraded?
I would imagine that the charges will be upgraded very soon. That the attempted will come off of that murder charge.
Is this a good example of how there is no routine call? I mean, every call, anything happens?
Exactly. This is one of those things, it's just a typical neighbor dispute that the deputies answer all the time. It's just one of those things that goes along with law enforcement. There's no, like you said, there's no routine call. Deputies, all law enforcement officers always have to be on their toes, and unfortunately, we've had the worst that can happen to us. Yes, if anybody wants to donate, they can bring donations here to the sheriff's office. We have a special account set up. We will distribute that money as the family dictates. No, his canine that was retired still lived at his house. Yes, he still.
What happens then?
That I don't know. I'm assuming it will go to another family member. I have no idea. But Ronnie is still alive and was still living with Deputy Gentry. Okay, thank you very much.
Just a sad day. Just a sad day there with the Highlands County Sheriff's Office. As you can see, all of the members of the Sheriff's Office behind them there, they are mourning one of their own. Just announced that Deputy Gentry died just after 1 o'clock this afternoon. You see flags there flying at half staff. He was shot at a home in Lake Placid last night as a result of a neighbor dispute. Was airlifted, but again later died this afternoon. He is an organ donor, so they say that he wanted to serve the public when he was alive and still doing the same thing in his death. He's the first deputy lost as a result of a criminal act for the Highlands County Sheriff's Office. He had a great sense of humor, they say, was fun to be around. Just an all-around great guy. There's going to be more information regarding his funeral services and that sort of thing coming out in the coming days, but more on this coming up a little bit later on the Now Tampa Bay.